Right, John, remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident and you're not at fault, G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with a complete accident management support that you require. They'll recover your costs from the at-fault party. They'll sort out a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They'll also organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they will recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat check for it. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny, as again, they charge the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims don't cold call, they don't buy data, and once they've processed your claim, your insurance is going to remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there won't take on your case if they don't think that they can help. So if you've been in a road traffic accident or know someone that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaims.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims made easy.
Absolutely, and I've got to put a shout out for Nicole and the team. They've just set up a podcast studio as well. So if you want to get involved, if you're thinking about doing a podcast like us, don't do a football one, of course, because that would be...
Don't do a movie one either.
Don't do a movie one, Alex. Chris does a movie one as well. You can follow at G4 Podcast, and they've got a podcast studio that you can go and use as well.
And do you know, John, you were there visiting it the day, weren't you?
I was. It's absolutely cracking, and we're going to be in it in the next couple of weeks as we get the band back together in a studio.
Face to face.
Absolutely. So get involved and follow them on their Twitter, and you get all the details on that. And of course, they do the best thing ever, which is make Not at Fault claims
easy!
Now, the time is here. The mystery guest has arrived. He's in the chair. Let's welcome to Football Daft. This is a very, very special guest. It's our 100th episode. He is the most talked about man in the show's history. And can we just state right here that right now, no, but you've wrote he's not Arbroath's captain. He is the fucking Arbroath captain. Please welcome to the show. It is the one, the only, Ricky fucking Little.
Ricky fucking Little. About time, by the way. About time.
This is
Aye. And you're right, no, they're both captain.
So who's the captain?
Tam O'Brien's captain.
Hey, I need to get to the
Mark
bottom of
Butler
something
is the
here.
captain. So I think you've kind of disrespected two guys that were.
I need to get to the bottom of it, but Grado, where have you got this fee that Ricky was the captain?
I honestly thought because you've been there for about 10 years. You're due a testimonial next year, you know?
I know, mate, I know.
I just thought I think he's a captain, man. I said the first time I said it on the show, I went, "Man, my mate Ricky, I think he's a captain," and then it's just I've just got
it's grew legs.
I know, mate. Everybody asks me that. You still the captain there? I'm like, no, you're awkward. How you know the captain? I'm like, you don't know, ask the manager.
Does the captain say? Did he say it to you? Did they ever pull it, or did you have to go out? By the way, man.
Aye.
I've seen on that podcast that I'm a captain.
For the sponsored walk, they're all, I've seen that video, that was funny. Oh man, I think they're trying to pull me up here. I never said that, Tam, honestly, I never said that.
So what's been happening anyway? What's that?
Much, mate.
I've got to ask, because obviously, Ricky, you and Grado go way back. How did you become pals with Grado?
Went to school with him. First memories of playing the school fitness team, to be fair.
Is he a good goalie?
Mate, honestly, to be fair, he was. Yeah,
was he?
He was frightening, to be fair. Played a full tournament once, conceded one goal against St Anthony's. I think it was a penalty.
That's right.
I
love that you
remember
remember
he's playing the blind schools.
Oh. It was decent, to be fair to him. Used to wear the goalie trousers and that. Most of you guys just did all the shite years. He thought he was
Dimitri Karin.
Antonioni, but no, it was good in goals, aye.
Aye, but I wore the goalie trousers. But folk like you took the piss at me. I didn't like it because I would wear the goalie trousers, the white socks, pull my sleeves up like Andy Gorham. Let's get a winner! Let's get a winner! Well, that carry on, man. I was
never wore the school tap. Used to be in mind the old Rangers tap, pure orange kind of sunset thing. Used to be like that. Pure Andy Gorham tap.
That's ripping right out you, Grado, by the way. That's fucking ripping right out you.
I get right in about it.
Yeah.
Fucking right in about it.
You know what happened to him, to be fair, man? Bit of BBs and Something happened to the teacher there. He doesn't like to talk about him. Just stop playing football.
What? Something happened with the teacher?
That happened to me at wrestling and all.
Oh, man.
That was it. Aye. That's face school, and then the one they pals until we were a wee bit older. I say you became a bit of emotion and that, and then we went our separate ways, and fate brought us back together. Went to Tenerife together, and we've never looked back.
It's funny because I went to Tenerife and Grado always says that he went to Levenerife, don't you, mate?
that kind of guy.
Aye, I was a mosher for a couple of years and kind of stopped all that, and then obviously had my wrestling as well. But it's when you start going on the boys' holidays, not the lads' holidays, that's when it kind of starts. And we're in the group chat. It's kind of like your pals in it. It's whoever's in your group chat. I mean, we've not seen each other in about fucking 2 years, but he's not even met Stephanie.
Aye, right enough.
Fuck's sake, I've even met Stephanie.
Nah,
he's still waiting.
He's scared to bring it to meet the boys, to be fair. He's
in case Paul McManus is there.
Aye, right enough. He's changed guy, quieting down a wee bit. And I think Stephanie thinks his pals are all gimps, to be fair. He's seen the other day, so I think she's keen to meet the boys.
She does say, I kind of tell her stuff and she'll go, are your pals gimps?
Aye, how can you be Ricky's a professional footballer. You can't be a gimp if you're a professional footballer, you know what I mean?
You'd be surprised, mate.
If you've not been to many of these episodes, John. For fuck's sake. Never listened to Football Daft.
Ricky, I mean, you obviously, you were schoolboy international, under 18 international, weren't you?
Aye, the schoolboys. So everybody always says that to us, and I think, fucking, it's no. Like, somebody asked me that recently, they were like, there must have been players come through your age group. I was like, aye, but I only played with him because I was still at school. Like, all the proper top players were signed with, like, teams when they were 16 and that. So I stayed on, and then you get the schoolboy select and stuff like that. So that was made up of basically boys that were way, like, part-time senior teams and stuff like that. I was playing junior fit by then, so went there, and then obviously Partick Thistle, Queen of the South, and a few teams were interested. So, and then obviously ended up at Partick Thistle for there.
Who did you play with in the juniors?
Winton, Ardrossan Winton Rovers.
Right.
I played with them. They were my boys' club were like their feeder team, so I was playing with them a Saturday, and then played with the boys' club on a Sunday.
Did you never get the call for the Buffs?
No, funnily enough, a few weeks ago, maybe. End of last season, there was a wee message for the Buffs, but nah.
The Buffs owner texted me and he went, he's coming. He's coming.
Well,
he went, just to let you know. I went, are you sure?
Somebody I know was talking to the guy that runs them recently, and he says that I can get him, but maybe once my contract's up.
I was going to say,
see what kind of cash I've thrown about.
Wait, I was going to say, tempted, because obviously you're...
Hold on a minute, he's got a testimonial coming up. That's a few fucking...
You're right.
Right enough, I did it. Because I was going to say, Arbroath you're at the now, Ricky, and, like, obviously training must be a bit of a nightmare. I know what the Angus teams train Central Region, like, once a week, but the train, like, where you're Ardrossan, aren't you?
So I'm staying in Kilwinning, so...
Right.
Kilwinning, we travel up to Perth twice a week, train a Monday and a Wednesday. And it's not normally too bad because apart from last season and so far this season, there's always Glasgow boys. So I can tie in with them at Cumbernauld, kind of breaks the journey up, and then you're only another 45 minutes or whatever.
He's been doing that for years, but you've literally been there, 9 years you've been travelling up and down to Perth, man.
8 season, I know, man.
Do you know what Grado always says? Ricky is the most professional guy I've ever known.
No, he is, but I swear to God. You're professional, man. It's like you'll never see Ricky out on a Friday. If we're ever planning on anything like a night out, we can never do it on a Friday because of Ricky's fitba. He's always been like that. Always been like that. Tell us about Partick, man, because I love that. See having your pal playing for Partick Thistle. I used to rip the arse right out it, man. Me and Toonsley would go up, you know, get the hospitality, the pie and all that. It was just a buzz, but also what was good about it was he would come back with stories about Ian McCall, man. Ian McCall stories were superb.
You know what, that's what I was going to say. He's your best Ian McCall story.
To be fair, it was good to me. Like he liked me as much as it was shite to you. It was good. It was just old school, like the stuff folk would do to the young boys back then. But I was his boot boy, so I got him, Alan Archibald, and somebody else. I kind of seen it as a wee bit of, oh, man, if the manager and I'm getting the captain and that, they must be buzzing off me. So he'd go out and clean the boots and stuff like that, and he'd just swagger in, like, we'd be back for training, he'd have been doing it at the bookies or whatever. You'd be outside cleaning the boots, and he'd just walk out, saunter around these flip-flops, and he'd be like, Ricky, make sure they're clean for this afternoon. Just chuck his trainers down there, but like, he'll have stood in dog shite and that, and I'm like, I think he's done this deliberately, man. Stuff like that. The day after we'd made our debut, it was like a Wednesday night, and I think it was like on a Tuesday, and I remember before it, we were playing Rangers on a Saturday, and before it, he was giving it to, because it was all like fringe players that were playing, he was saying like, MD in here, fucking, you've got a chance to go out and like, stake a claim for a position in the team for Saturday against Rangers and that. So I'm sitting thinking, fucking buzzing, man. Like, he's like, if Ricky Little goes out and plays well, he'll be in my team for Saturday. I was like, right, man. I went out, I played well, we won 1-0, get man of the match. I was like, fucking brilliant, man. I'll be at least like on the bench or something like that. Came in on Thursday with the Wednesday off, so we got him buzzing. Major debut, came in on the Thursday. We were still young boys, so I'd come in early to do the gear and that. And he's like, Ricky Graham, and shouted the two he's up there and made their debut. We went up and he's like, here, gave us his car keys, and he's like, go and clean the motor for us. motor was parked outside the front of the stadium, so we're obviously thinking, fucking yes, here we go, first team in that now. We're out cleaning his motor, fucking black bin bags full of stuff and all that. No, the first team were arriving, like, wait, you two couldn't stay, man. That's what it was like, we would just do stuff like that, try and keep you grounded, but it was...
that's what I was going to say, that's to keep your feet in the ground.
Aye. No, it was a laugh.
You know, always going for getting his breakfast and all, man, rolls and sliced.
Aye.
Get his breakfast.
Aye. Yeah, sometimes it'd be like, Ricky, you'd shite yourself, you'd get shouted up to his office. Like, Ricky, our young boys. And you'd be like, fuck, man. Go up, but you'd like, I'm not going up, whose turn is it? You'd walk down, they'd be like that, just give you change, and they'd be like that. Go down to Jack and Ellie's and get me two cheeseburgers with onions and tomato sauce and 20 Beckley menthol. You're like, right, no bother. Are you a handful of change in that, man? You're like, I don't know if there's enough here in that. Just go on there. He says if there's not enough, he'll square you up later on. You're like, fucking hell, man. But it was just like that. I didn't care, mate.
But I remember, was that the game that we went to? Because I remember, because Stevie Graham played in that game, Rangers versus Partick Thistle, was it not about 2007, 2008?
Would have been, aye.
Something like that.
Drew at Ibrox, so a young boy, it was on loan, I think, for Hibs at the time. Damien Gray scored. He scored the equaliser at Ibrox, and then I think the replay, Mendes and Boyd scored fucking two absolute screamers.
That's right.
For, I think it was 2-1.
That's right.
Aye, no, it was...
I just remember obviously going to the game and seeing Ricky coming out putting the wee, what do you call the wee things doing that he is in training? No boys, what do you call them?
Aye,
markers.
Aye, markers, something like that, and it was just like, Ricky! You know what I mean? Fucking for the governor front.
Fucking hell, your face must have been red raw.
Oh, I know.
So, obviously you were at Partick, which obviously your debut there, you played a couple of games, but then how did you end up going to Queen's Park?
I just made my debut the first season. I was at Thistle towards the end. They were safe, I think they were top 4 or whatever. So they kind of gave us a few games towards the end of the season. Next year came back and just at the stage, you know what I mean, the guys in front of you are never going to play every week in front of them. And I think I was too old to play with the 18s that season. So he just says to us, like, did I want to go out loan? Queen's Park were second division at the time. Their manager had been the Thistle assistant, so he just asked me to go there. But I just went, played, I think maybe 12 games or something like that. I was only there for 3 months, and then came back basically just to kind of sit on the bench again, just to make up the numbers in case of injuries. But to be honest, I hated it, man. I ended up, I loved it at Queen's Park, but first time I went loan, I was like right back. I was just wee guy, but it was good experience. And then obviously back to Thistle, hardly played, and he says I could leave if I wanted. And
did you go and chap in McCall's door and say, "Listen, what's my future? I'm only getting a game."
No, I honestly wish it. I was never that kind of boy, man. Like my father would always bet me, "Fucking chap his door." Like there's guys playing in front of that on the day, and not mean no that you can do that. And I think, no bother. Like I was just a wee guy, and I felt like that. And then to be fair, when I came back, I went to see him. I think he spoke to me about. I'd asked to go back on loan for the full season, and he says, "No, you need to stay to make up the numbers." And I'd say, "Well, I got a chance then." and he says, I see you playing the back three and stuff, and then obviously never get any game time. But after that, you kind of know. Do you know what I mean? I was happy just to be there as a bit of experience, but like I say, go back to my father was just like that. It was only 150 quid a week, like my full time like professional contract when I was at Thistle. 150 quid, and that was me getting a first team contract. My dad was like, fuck that, man. He was like, just go and play football. So
the big thing, obviously, because you used to, obviously you played at Queen's Park for how long?
4 years or something.
You were only getting your fucking bus fare, weren't you?
Twice, eh?
You only get your bus fare, but weren't you that time?
That's what it was, to be fair, get expenses. So you're getting like 15 quid a night expenses or something like that, Queen's Park. But I mean, anybody you speak to that's been there, they couldn't speak highly enough for the club. Like, going for Thistle, obviously, Championship or First Division at the time or whatever, you were going to Queen's Park. Half the time you were at Thistle, you didn't know you were training. You shot in the morning and they'd be trying to book out somewhere to train, or you'd be going to a public park to train and stuff like that, and you'd go to Queen's Park and all the gear would book for you, you'd have your own training facilities. You know what I mean? It was, you wanted fit bits, they phoned down to Greaves, you went and picked them up, everything was just so professional, apart from the wages, obviously. It was
because they were still amateur at the time, weren't they?
They were, just up until last year.
Couple of years ago, I think it was.
There, they decided to go professional, which is
like what's happened, promotion first season, man.
That's it. They've had to do it, but I mean, they've always been well backed. Do you know what I mean? There's been money there, and everything's in place for them to be a big club. Obviously, they've had investment or whatever new, and they'll have a go at it, and probably expect them to. It'll be easier for them to attract players and stuff like that as well. So, I would fancy them to kind of climb up the division.
It must have been amazing walking out at Hampden, like every other week. You're walking at the National Stadium and playing
in front of 17 folk.
Well.
I know.
I mean, apart from you're playing in front of a couple £100, but I mean, still, you're playing on Hampden, every other week,
Aye, it was. It's known till obviously I left. You kind of take it for granted. You know what I mean? To start with, it's something else, and then let's say you start to take it for granted. And for me, I always felt it was a harder game at home because teams are only playing on it every second week. Do you know what I mean? You're only playing there twice a season. They're buzzing. Once you go to play in Hampden, you can raise your game. But no, it was good experience, and like I say, you take it for granted, the dressing rooms and stuff like that. But Graham's right. I say it's strange playing in front of 400 or 500 folk, and I always say to folk, I told the boys at Arbroath when they're joking about the crowd and they don't believe me, there's a wee tannoid at the side of the door, a wee thing you press it makes like fake crowd noise and all that for good. So I think it's for the tours, to be fair. It's for the Hampden tour. They'll be like, imagine this in a full house. Well, obviously boys are going out on a Saturday and firing on the button. It's
it's like cosplay fit man, it, man. Let's kid on. I didn't know that. Can I ask you about this now? We can take it out, right, if you want to, but obviously Rangers get relegated and stuff like that, and you put something.
No, they didn't. They didn't get relegated. They went out of business and started again in the third division.
Oh, can you rein it in for one night, mate?
Sorry, Grado. Sorry, Grado.
Aye. So you're playing Rangers and you wound up in the fucking front page of the paper. Did you know?
No, don't talk about this, but I'm getting done, mate. Aye, I think it was, to be fair, it was maybe the back page. I thought it was a wee bit there, and then shot it because somebody had sent a picture to us. Woke up the Sunday morning, I'm like, oh no, man. In fact, it was a Friday? Can't mind. Aye, Sunday morning it was, because the Friday the reporter showed up at my house. The Sunday morning we'd been out on the Saturday, and I'd woke up and folk had started sending me messages and that, and I'm like, oh no. I think that'll be like a wee side column like the third division normally gets. I went down to the shop, shite myself, and I seen it and I was like, oh no, and then it was like continued page whatever. I've opened it, man, it was like a big double spread, Pat Nevins, pure sticking the boot in and all that, man.
So tell them what you done.
What happened?
It wasn't, well, to be fair, what had happened was, obviously they'd went down, I was sitting in work, and it was when Rangers obviously found out they were going down to third division. And I think I just, obviously young, stupid at the time, jumped on Facebook. I was obviously party's a bit gutted, but to play against them, I was like, fucking bro, this will be the only chance I'm going to get to play it at Ibrox kind of thing. So I'm on Facebook saying Rangers going down next year, like apologies to all my pals that support them, but might have to nail one or two players next season or something along the lines. But I'm just putting that on, like kind of thinking, folk like Graham, my other pals and that will be like, aye, fucking no chance and give you a bit of crack. And to be fair, most folk were. And then obviously there's the odd folk that you know, but you're not pals with, and they've given on fucking break Broadfoot's leg, break this guy's leg and all that. And I'm thinking, I mean, I didn't say I'll break his leg or that, but the next thing I know, it was folk not an 8, and then it was a Friday. I was heading out to my work, and guy jumps out a motor. It was about 7 in the morning. Guy jumps out the motor, the suit and that one, all this paper, and he's like, Ricky Little. I'm like, oh fuck, who's this man? Shite myself, and I'm like, aye, how? And he's like, I've got proof here that you said this about Rangers players in Scotland internationals and that. And I'm just like, what's happening here? I was off sleeping, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he's sticking it in my face and that. And I was like, I'm a Rangers fan. I was only saying that as a laugh, having a carry on with my pals. It's been took it out of context. And he was like, is there nothing you want to say about it? And I was like, no, like, I'm not saying anything else about it. And he was like, well, it's going in the paper regardless. You sure? And I was like, no. Jumped in the motor, and I was just like, what has happened, man? Drove to work, phoned Queen's Park. And to be fair, they were brilliant. They were just like, right, don't speak to MD else. Like, you'll sort this kind of thing. And they were brilliant, but that was it, the Sunday. Obviously, the guy's been in my face pure, like, he was looking for a reaction, but I didn't know at the time. There's obviously been somebody sitting in another motor fucking taking pictures, because in the paper on the Sunday it's a picture of me with like joggy with the hood up, man, my plastic bag with my piece in it. It's not I mean, looking like an absolute bam. This guy's taking pictures of. So
imagine you'd put one on him.
I know, that's the thing, like, I don't know.
But it's funny the way they do that with the pictures, because it did look like, Little leaving household and all that. Do you know what I mean? As if he was like a beast or something. Do you know what I mean?
I know. That's what it was like, though, man. But, I thought not an 8 at the time, but it was my mum that I felt sorry for, because my mum was like the area we're from that. She was like, all it takes is one idiot to come chat your
That's exactly it. And do you know the worst part is? That's somebody that you know that's done that to you.
Aye, Toonsley's one, mate. Toonsley.
It was, mate. It was Toonsley. Says that. He's on previous, man. So that's what I said. At the time, I was in the hink, mate, and then all them were like, fucking somebody's grassed you in, man. And then all my mates started saying, it'll be Toonsley.
Aye, did I not get to blame it or not?
I think the Dooties did, mate.
He was the first one, I thought. Purely because I don't know any of your old mates, but...
Proper Rangers fan, pure raging at me saying it. I'll fucking show him. You and Toonsley straight onto the paps.
It was about the likes of Andy Robertson and other players that you've played with that, have went on to, have a right good career and things like that as such.
Andy Robertson, for me, is just... When he first came on the scene, you would never have looked at him and went, fucking hell, this wee guy's going to make it. Strangely enough, though, man, I always think now, like, the goal at the time at Queen's Park, Neil Parry, I always remember him, obviously not being serious, but he would joke and like, future Scotland left back things, and you would think, no chances he's going to be at that level. Like, he was good, but he was just a wee boy. But I think what's helped him is obviously got his move to Dundee United, playing the way he was playing at Queen's Park, and then he was just kind of flung in, didn't have time to think about it, went done the exact same at Dundee United, and then more or less the same at Hull, but the level he's went to, like...
You've not heard much of him since he left Hull, right enough?
No. It's done alright, I think, but no, I would never have thought he would have got to that level. I say, definitely thought he would have made it in the game, but not at that level, so I say credit to him, and I always say to people, folk that deserve it, do you know what I mean? If he was a dick of that, you might be a bit, I can't believe he's made it, but great boy, man, who just wanted kind of quiet, wanted to learn and that when he came in and mixed well with everybody, and he was... deserved it.
See at Queens. see at Queens. Was he not like the fucking secretary of the club or something? I know.
He was I'm sure he was doing. They used to get some of the young boys would go and do a wee bit. To be fair, he was doing like the kit and stuff like that for the Scotland team. He would do a bit of that, and then they would do the no hospitality, but I'm sure it was stuff like that for Scotland games. They would go and work out and like welcome guests in and stuff like that.
Aye, because I watched a documentary about him not long ago, right? And he says that it was before the last game of the season or something, and he was hosting something at the club, and his mum and dad bought him a suit, and he says it's the worst fitting suit that you've ever fucking seen in your life.
I saw pictures of that.
And that's crazy, isn't it? When you think about it, going for that to European Cup and Premier League winner, that's unbelievable. And captain of Scotland, obviously.
I don't think he would have imagined he would have got to that level. But like I say, he's obviously had something. Don't know what it is. His work rate or his desire to go and improve himself. But no, he's done brilliant.
So tell us about, a club that now has a very big place in my heart. Tell us about the Smokies. Tell us about the Lichties. Tell us about Arbroath. Tell us about Arbroath. It's just a club that...
The same as you. Just a club that I went to be honest, no planning to hang about very, very long. Went there because at the time they'd been League One or whatever it is. No, they were in the playoffs a couple of seasons in a row, and I just, to be honest, seen them as a kind of way to everybody's leaving Queen's Park. It's a chance for me to go and play at a higher level. Didn't really want to do the travelling, but if I go here and they're all right next season, they're up the top end of the table, I'll get another move to somebody else. And then obviously I broke my foot the first game of the season, missed most of that. But for then they kind of, I wouldn't say they looked after me there because I'd be lying, but get left at the time. They did at the time, I was the old chairman and stuff like that. Just get left to kind of fend for myself, waiting stuff getting done through the NHS and miss most of the season because of it. But after that, obviously they gave us offered us another contract. Stayed there because I kind of wanted to prove. I wasn't the chance to go back to Queen's Park, but I thought if I go back to Queen's Park, folk will just think, fucking, do you know what I mean? Average. Couldn't go to Arbroath and get a game back at Queen's Park. So I thought I'll stay next season, get myself back playing again, and then boost for there. But since then, to be fair, I've not really looked back. The fans have always kind of took days. And then my dad's been coming up. My dad loves it. There's a wee boozer across the road. So my dad would drive up on a match day. I'll go in, he heads to the boozer, play the game. I'll go back across the pub and get him after it. And he's normally mixing with the fans. So it's just got that kind of feel about it, the place. It's good. Like I say, they've welcomed me and kind of took it.
What about the characters that you've got is fucking, you've got Dick Campbell, you've got Rab Douglas there as well as a goalie coach, man. Must be, it's a right professional, old school team, man, innit?
That's what it is. That's what, I'll be honest, another reason why I've lasted as long. I don't know if managers had came and gone, probably would have left. I think probably most of the team that's been there with the gaffer, boys have said it before, like, if he was to leave, I'll be leaving, do you know what I mean? So if he's been there, I mean, things have changed massively at the club, so it's been easy to stay, to commit myself to it. But the challenge just about every season he's been there, I know. He's brought in better players, and I say, just the feel about the place, he'll go through you if it has to, you know what I mean? Probably doesn't even need to date as much now, he kind of know what to fuck about with him. And I say, it's good crack. There's always a bit of carry on with him and stuff like that. It's good.
What are the trips to Magaluf like? Because Dick Campbell's famous for taking the team away to Magaluf at the end of the season. That's his big thing, isn't it?
Aye.
What are the trips like to Magaluf with Dick Campbell?
To be fair, they're a different class. That was it. The chat was when, was it the second full season when we won the league? When we won League 2, they were giving it early. If we win the league, we'll take you to Maga. And you're thinking, no chance. We won, to be fair, won it in the last day. Straight after the game, Pink, the assistant, his brother was like that. Right, whatever date it was, 20th of May, we're off to Magaluf, everything's booked. Both the boys were like that. Oh no, I can't do the 20th. We've got holidays, we've got other things booked, and it's had to change it. But they paid for the lot, but they were all inclusive, and then they'll like head to some wee Scottish bar on the last night. They weren't there for the full thing, they met us for the last night, they just flew in. Head to this bar, we went there and they'd put on like a wee party hanging up for us, paid for all that. And then the second season, to be fair, was much the same.
Does Dick up and singing at the party tunes?
He does, see, to be fair, I thought he would, because he likes a dancing that about the dressing room. But once we were in the bar, he was quite chilled, man. There was a few older ladies kicking about and that, and he just sat with the big shirt on unbuttoned, button down and that, just sat at the bar, cool as you like, just, and then you could tell he was just like getting the boys. I mean, all the boys were buzzing off him, man. So he was
the Godfather.
Aye, sitting cool as fuck. But no, he is good. He's good crack. I say, he likes he dance and stuff like that. And he's I think it was the first season or not, to be fair. Whatever pub we were in, we're heading to another one. Must have been about 5 or 6 doors down. You know what I mean? This the manager at the club, so the boys are all staggering out. A couple of coaches walked into the next place. The taxi drives past and you're like, beep. Honda's out the window and you just see two fingers coming up. Dick Campbell's getting a taxi about 5 different pubs down, man. He's got a taxi drives past everything. He is good. I say that they're all good laugh. Big Rab's brilliant and all. He's a good kind of go-between with the boys as well. Obviously, he still takes part in training and gets himself on the bench every now and again. But
is he any good in training?
Yeah, to be fair, he's been brilliant.
He says he thought he was going to have to go in goals in one of the last games.
He could be on the bench, to be fair, this Saturday. I think there's been a wee injury to one of the goalies, so he could make the bench again. But he was, is it the week you said him on? I was texting Graham and I'm like, he says, I could ask him. And I says, ask how he performed in training this week, mate, because he's always brilliant, man. When he joins in, like, he just fills the goals and sets standards, man. He kind of keeps at you so you're not messing about and stuff. But the boys were doing shooting and he didn't start well. I think he'd maybe been away on holiday, man. He came in, let a couple go under him and stuff like that, and he doesn't like it when the boys start at him, so the boys are like, oh, forget Boric, here's the real goalie and all that, and you can just see him fucking steam coming out his ears. He's ready. I'm saying to Graham, just say to him, like, how did you train? He was like, no chance, man.
No, it was when I went and brought up. What was that like, man? I shat myself when I brought up the who was it that scored the goal against him? The Rangers player? Vignal, and I thought he would have a laugh with it, and he didn't like it, didn't he? No, man,
I didn't like it
myself.
I says to him, so I did, Ricky, I says to him, right, when the year that Celtic went to Seville, right, Celtic played a team called, I can't remember, Sedova, in the first round, right, and my dad had bet 8-0 to Celtic with Valharin for the last goal. I swear to God, right, I'm not lying to you, and it was 8-0 to Celtic and Jus Valharin had scored the last goal, right? And big fucking Douglas skis the ball out to the Sedova player and he puts it in the net in the last minute and it finishes 8-1. He done my dad out of thousands of pounds, right? Thousands of pounds, right? So when we done that charity game, I went up to him, I says, you better hope my dad doesn't get a holiday. He's like, is he here? I says, he says, get him down here. I was like, no, you're alright, don't worry about it.
No, he doesn't like that, man. He's brilliant, to be fair. I always, once he first came in, I thought, oh my God, like, he'll be just such a towering guy and get that about him. But he's a great big guy, like big gentle giant, man. Once he's not in the park, he'll look after you well. I say, but when we've won the league, he said the boys back, he's got a wee pub at his house in that. Studs and stilettos, he's always said the boys in there. So, he looks after us. I couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? He doesn't need to. He's played at that level for Celtic and both have won League Two. He could have backed me. These guys would have just went up the road, man. He was like, up his gate, looked after every day, so let us all stay in his house and that. So,
John, how long have you got to go? I'm just cautious of time, John, because how long we got to? About 52?
No, just keep going. Just keep going.
Right, tidy.
Grado, after he came on the show, he must have enjoyed it. He's sending Grado fucking videos in the bath and all that.
No. Aye, then his missus sent me one for the bath or not?
He sent us a video. What is it? How you doing, champ? Just sitting there.
It's a fat cat here.
It's a fat cat here. And then it's the fat cat's wife. Yeah, do you know what was good as well about Ricky being a football player or not? A couple of times when he gets invited to the PFA Awards, because Rangers don't turn up, he manages to he's got us in a couple of times.
Aye.
He sat at Rangers table.
Days though, the first time was when I was at Queen's Park. I was up for the award and the Rangers table, so it was like Celtic, whoever was winning it, Charlie Mulgrew I think was going to win it, so Celtic were all there, so the Rangers team won there, and the table next to us was met the Rangers team, so I'm up at the awards and like Toonsley and that are texting us saying, what's it like, and all that sort of stuff. I was like, there's an empty table next to us, man, you could have snuck in. And they're like, do you think we could? And I was like, you probably could, man. My phone goes about half an hour, man, after that, and they're like, Ricky, we're in the toilets now, you come and get us. I went out, man. I went out to get them. Everybody's sitting in the dinner suits and that, they all swagger in. Big lad, to be fair, had the suit on. Graham Stokes in, grey trousers, dot grey shirt, dot grey tie. Just swaggered in, he's like, focal think, I don't know I'm not a football player, I'll just tell cunts I'm a physio or something like that. Just like keep your heads down, the table's at the back anyway. The referee come in, sat down, him and Toonsley's cracked the bottles of wine right away. The birds are walking past the dinner, I'm like, no, that here, sit that here, just sitting at an office, grand. They were away around the tables getting pictures with everybody and all that.
It was the best, man. That was the first time I ever tried trout or something like that. It wasn't trout, it was I was getting all the starters and would you like more and all this. It was the best.
It was good that the first year, and then it just shows you it was last year, the last few times to be fair I've been.
Was it Martin Boyle in Bard?
Aye, the last time, so it was. The last time we we were going up to the room. We were just about to head out after it, wasn't it? Obviously, everybody's recognising him now, so he doesn't need to invite anyone. Doesn't need to sneak in. He just swaggered in late night to the Lords with a blue suit on. We were heading up to the lift, and all the Hibs boys came off the lift or something. So he's like, "It's your sale." Started challenging you, didn't he? Martin Boyle comes running out. Goes to Kiddle and wrestle with him. Graham's just slaps your straight face, couldn't be arsed. Scoops him up in the air and starts swinging him.
I cannot believe we've not heard this story before, Graham.
I know,
Don't
fuck's
like
sake.
to. I never
The same night, I know, but man, I think it was maybe just before that. You should go to the room before us. I came in and Danny Denham, the boy that does the podcast, he was loving you, but wasn't he? I walked in. Danny Denham's got his jacket off, just got Graham doing wrestling moves to him for about 10 minutes himself in the bed. Not even laughing, just Danny Denham getting pure
Aye, by the way, that's what they tell you they were doing. That's what they tell you they were doing. Mary, I show you this wrestling move, bend over.
Don't try this at home.
So, Ricky, what are the ambitions for Arbroath this season then? Because obviously you had a brilliant couple of seasons in the Championship. Is it pushing it to the playoffs this season, or is it again just a case of trying to avoid relegation?
Probably. I mean, within the club, people say that we need to push for the playoffs, but realistically, it's about staying up. I mean, we've done well. I think we can get better, and you maybe could sneak a wee outside chance of the playoffs. But at the same time, we're getting stronger, and everybody around about us. You know what I mean? Like looking at the league just now, Partick have just come up, and for me, I think they'll make the playoffs.
Larnaca just went down, haven't they?
Aye, you've got everybody in the league's got stronger. Like I says, we will, but we can only attract young boys, young full-time boys on loan, or else get maybe guys that want to step down towards the end of their career. You want to come down to part-time football and stuff like that. So you're probably not getting the best there is in the division. But just the way we play in that, we kind of make it hard for teams, and Gayfield's not an easy place for teams to come. In that league as well, you know what I mean? A lot of teams, because they are full-time, they want to try and get the ball down and playing. The conditions aren't great, so it does suit us. So
you want to play in front of the crowd in the Championship, don't you?
Aye, we've kind of missed that. We go to the first half of the season or whatever, and gone for playing. I mean, League 2, even in League 1, we are both more winning the league. You're maybe getting 1,100, 1,200 in for the kind of bigger games, get them in the Montrose games and that. But first game I think we played Queen of the South, and the away crowd they broke was probably the smallest, but it was still massive compared to MBL season, the leagues below us. So, no, I definitely want that. It was a shame. We missed out in Hearts last year. I would have liked that. Hearts. Everybody goes on about the atmosphere there. Once it's full, but we never get a chance to do that.
I mean, see, when you look at the league, you genuinely look at the league and you think any of the teams in that league could win it.
Aye.
Because anybody can take points off anybody else in that league. So,
it,
you know what, see if you get a wee bit of a run going, man, there's no reason why you can't at least make the playoffs.
Aye. If somebody goes, we finished the season strongly last year, but and probably the season before was the same. I think we finished 5th or 6th when they called it, but we started both seasons quite slow, and then that's what's done it. You go on a wee run, like you're saying, you claw teams into it, and you can out the top 2 or 3 probably. But then everybody else is close together, so if you can go on a run, you've always got a wee chance. But we'll settle for as long as we avoid the playoffs, actually, because I've got my stag do booked. I think the stag do is the playoff final. So
is that?
Aye, so
Well,
avoid the playoffs. Avoid the playoffs.
I'm going. I'm booked.
Aye.
I'm booked. And I hope that me and Toller and John are booked for the fucking Hingway and all the testimonial next year.
Aye.
If you need a towering striker, I'm your fucking man.
Listen, you've got to have Grado on the goals, so after you've bigged him up so much now, Ricky, you've got to have him in the sticks for the testimonial, surely.
Aye, get him in the goals, he'll get bored now though, I think.
Imagine having him in one goal. Him in one goal rather than the other goal, it'd be fucking nothing each.
No, because see all these... That's funny. You see, these charity games, I've been stupid trying to play up front and all that. I can't do that. I'm better off. I want a shot of going and goals.
You says, was it the last game? Was it the last game you get broke loose and somebody puts in a plate for you? You fall?
Oh, mate, it's always the same when you go to
charity games. Are always being your pelters and all, you're serious.
Aye, but every time I play a charity game, it's all that fucking why don't you do something with Toe and the referee, and you know what I mean? It's all that fucking, and then you give the fucking referee a body slam and all that shit. I can't be arsed, man. Or they get me to come on to my wrestling music, come on and dance and all that, and I'm like, fucking come on to dance at fucking Paul Junior's park, you know what I mean? In front of 70 folk, man, like, right?
On us all guys, like that. Fuck's that.
Yeah.
Isn't it as if he's never wrestled in front of 70 folk? No, is it?
70's a good house, man, fuck's sake.
Ricky, I don't know if you know, but every week we do on the show a 90-second football quiz, and we're not letting you off just because you're Grado's pal. So, at the top of the table, it's David Martindale. He's got 16 points. Joint second, John Sutton, Chick Young, and Hamilton Scott Martin. They're all on 15. Mark Wilson, Keith Lasley, third with 14. There's a couple other selected scores you might want to beat. Bob Malcolm's on 12. Andy Gorham's on 8. And your gaffer, Dick Campbell, is on 5, so that's the one.
I'll beat him, man.
We've got to mention it every week. Barry from EastEnders is on 4, so that's the kind of goal. At the bottom, you've got Craig Levine, mixed with Pat Lyon, Peter Lovencrantz, Derek Johnson, who are all on 3. Dick Campbell, the target.
This must be hard, man. Aye, let's go for it. If I can take him out, we'll go for it.
Well, Grado can ask you the questions since he's your pal, so I'm sure he'll make them fast.
Is there a time for me to answer them?
So there's 90 seconds, Ricky, right, and you can't pass. You need to give an answer.
Doesn't need to be the right answer, but you need to give an answer, all right?
Aye. Right, so we get 90 seconds, John Boy.
We have indeed.
Number 1. Name the only SPFL team whose name begins with the letter B.
Brechin.
Who managed Kilmarnock immediately before Stevie Clark?
Oh, fuck. Holt, team manager.
Which SPFL side has a Baxter the Brady as their mascot?
Gorfa.
Who knocked Belgium out of the Euros?
Italy.
How many league appearances did you make for Partick Thistle?
What?
Which SPFL side did Inter Milan's Lewis Morgan start his career at?
St Mirren.
Name a current permanent Scottish Premiership manager who also played for the club they manage.
Oh, Scottish Premiership. Jim Goodwin.
Who has Genie Wijnaldum signed for?
Wijnaldum. Barcelona.
What club does David Marshall currently play for?
David Marshall. Oh, fuck. Don't know, Cardiff.
How many goals did you score for Queen's Park?
3.
Home Park is the home to which football team?
East Kilbride.
Who is the only team to remain unbeaten against England at the Euros?
Scotland.
The Super Jays is a nickname for which club?
Oh, fuck. I can't pass.
No.
United.
Who played in the final of last season's League Cup?
Time!
Who was that one?
You can still answer it, though.
Who was that one?
Which 2 teams played in the final of last season's League Cup? However, I need to tell you, John's got the wrong answer here.
St Johnstone Livingston, was it?
Correct, that's right.
That's what I
yes.
thought.
Yeah,
Also, I've never heard of the Super Jays in my puff. Have you heard of the Super
Who
Jays?
is that?
St Johnson.
St Johnstone?
Aye,
I've never
that
heard
one.
that. Anyway, John, what's the scores in the doors, you can't?
We'll go through your all answers. Ricky managed Kilmarnock before Steve Clark. It was Lee McCulloch. Genie Wijnaldum was going to sign for Barcelona, but
Aye, PSG.
PSG, aye. David Marshall is currently at Derby County. We'll come back to that one in a minute. Home Park's a home to Clydebank. Super Jays we talked about. So, question for you, and I'm going to take your answer. I've got down 2 goals for Queen's Park, but you're saying 3.
Remember, it only lists league goals.
No.
I know.
listen.
I checked that again. I double checked it. It's not.
You
just
might be right. You might be right.
Oh, right.
See, he's wrong. See, he's wrong.
Say I'm wrong.
Tell him you scored 3, yeah, man.
I scored 3.
2. No. Let me see. 2 that I can
Ricky,
remember.
just take the point, right?
Let's go for 3. Let's go for 3. There was definitely a cup goal in there actually against
There we
Partick.
go. Excellent. Well said. Well said. Well, listen, you've beaten your gaffer. You've done very well. You've beaten Andy Gorham. You've got 9.
Oh, that was good. Well done, Ricky, mate.
I counted 10.
Oh, have you got 10 there, Chris? Well, listen, it's episode 100. We're going to give Ricky a 10 since he's the legend of the show.
Hey!
Give him a 10% for the 100th episode.
That's
Beautiful.
it, boys.
Ricky, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the
Aye,
show,
man.
mate. Thank you very much for coming
Thanks
on.
for having us, guys.
You're welcome.